Hi, I'm a bit of a sleep-deprived Kotz. Outlast Trials 1.0 version came out around, pretty much exactly 24 hours ago. I played it now for around 12-ish hours. Basically what I did was I got through here, A+, everything. Obviously some of them I had to reattempt, mind you. Same with Program X. I got everything A+ there, also some reattempts, and also I went through the new Program Ultra, and also A+ everything there. There it also took quite a bit of reattempts. For example, right here, I previously had a D standing right there. Really happy to have it down. I haven't played this yet. I will probably soonish after I make this video right here. It's not that different from the early access version, so I don't know if I will even cover it. Main point is, I want to go ahead and talk a little bit about the 1.0 update. I think I'm qualified for that, even though I will admit I haven't done everything yet. Like, I haven't tested out all the new loadout stuffs and whatever, but still I want to give a little bit of a thought of the game right now. Which, if you see, there's a shitload of more customization, which this shit is kinda messed up. I will not lie, this shit. I saw it and was like, bruh. Red Bear was always pushing the envelope. I mean, they already did with the new main trial, which I will get to in a sec. But 1.0 update. Thoughts and opinions. Overall, to completely summarize it, TLDR, it's mostly great. There are some things that I don't like, I'm concerned about and whatever, but it's a mostly fine and great update. There's nothing really, like, there's nothing that I will be like, oh my god, I'm ultra worried or whatever the fuck, you know, kinda deal. Like, it's mostly fine. It's definitely, I would say the Winter Kill updates was still technically a bit better. It actually got me more hyped and whatnot, and some of the changes they did balancing wise were, in my opinion, a little bit better handled way back there. But it's definitely way better than the Halloween update. Like, this update is very decent in all sorts of rights, so let's talk about it. I think the best way to start is to look at this shit, because I opened this and you will be like, wait, there was program 1, 2, 3, 4, and you know, some other stuff. They now put all the core shit in here, like the main trials without variators in here. Then you have Program X, which is also restructured. You don't have the same structure anymore, like 6 MK challenges, 3 normal trials, and then a final exam. It's also restructured. And then you have Program Ultra, which is supposed to be the hardest difficulty. Now the main kicker is, why I'm bringing this up now, is every single trial gives you release tokens now. And if you then go ahead and, you know, go to the thing downstairs, you can actually release yourself by doing 20 tokens. Like, by gaining 20 tokens. You get 2 per main trial and 1 per MK challenge. And it does not matter what you do now. Like, you can go ahead and do all the basic shit. That's actually what you're supposed to do when you start out, because once you go through the entire thing, you get like 1 reborn and then you unlock Pro X, and I think after 3 reborns you unlock Program Ultra. That's the progression that's going on right there. And I think this is a decent change, that basically everyone can reborn doing whatever the fuck they want to. Now, I know a lot of people will be pissed at this, especially people that have been grinding, I don't know, 500 reborns or something like that, and now reborns will not become anything special anymore, because you will just get reborns passively now by just playing the game. So it will piss off these people. But this is a good step into fixing the whole difficulty scenario, like of the difficulty setting, because during early access the problem was a lot of people thought Program X was way too hard and locking quote unquote the ending behind the harder difficulty was wrong, while other people were saying, oh my god, the game is far too easy, blah blah blah, Grave was a real challenge. And now you basically have easy, normal, hard, if that makes sense. And I think that's really nice. If you just want to go ahead and quote unquote Okay, someone wants to get in the building. That scared me for a sec. You just want to play on the easy difficulty. You just play this over and over again. If you crave 2 challenges, you just play this again. Now, what is kinda whack is obviously that you see there aren't that many trials here, and also not all trials are included in here. That's a bit whack. It's again the program structure. But honestly, whatever. As long as they refresh it regularly, that's fine by me. So let's talk about what Ultra is about, maybe, because people have been thinking, oh my god, Ultra, the new hardcore program. I hope Red Barrel's cooked with this one. My take on it, it's a good step into the right direction. When I played it for the first time, I got ultra humbled here. Because obviously it's the new main trial, it's Toy Factory, which I will get to in a sec. It was on the ultra hardcore difficulty with like, it says right here, extreme enemies, hostile environments, extended rig cooldown, less inventory space, no intel and no player names. And I got a D there. So I got ultra humbled there. Basically, Program Ultra is final exam difficulty if you want to have a reference point, with some extra steps, like more inventory or whatever the fuck, like less inventory, more rig cooldowns, which is very noticeable and stuff like that. So it's difficult, and newer to intermediate players will struggle with this to try to get a handling on it, but with time I can see people master this and then craving a new challenge, because the problem with Ultra will be really soon that it is too generic. I was hoping with Ultra that you would have some unique flavor to it, that you have variators like that the lights, like the light spots can be different, and there's RNG to where light is and where darkness is, that enemies have way more RNG, that prime assets can be wherever the fuck they want, where, I don't know, where, like overall that it's just new, like I don't know, new types of objectives in the trial, or you have to do as many trials as if you're a 4-player, even in solo, you know, stuff like that. That's what I was kinda hoping for in Silence, what Ultra would be like. This one, it is difficult. It will take a while until the average player will be able to beat this A+ and whatnot, but it will probably down the road turn out too generic and, you know, will be whatever. However, I appreciate that they went ahead and did this and, you know, think into the correct direction, that, you know, you have something for the casual players and you have something for the hardcore players. It's just how they cook beyond and, you know, flesh it out that will determine if this will succeed or not. I'm really happy that we got what we got. But yeah, will say though, I'm a bit sad that Pro X is just also really generic. I was really hoping for another Program X Season 3 with again the 6 MK challenges and, you know, 4 main trial structures, and they have unique gimmicks to them, like the Sharp Glass one, the Winter Kills one, and whatever the fuck. But it's just generic like that, which I guess it's fine, but it's a bit boring. I would definitely prioritize playing Ultra over X for like speedruns and challenges and shit, but I will also do X. Now let's talk about Toy Factory really quick. I will probably do an in-depth video breaking it down, but overall I've been pleasantly surprised. I thought from the trailers and stuff that Toy Factory might become a flop, because the objectives, we have seen all of the objectives, and spoiler, and not really a spoiler on how the trial goes, but a spoiler on what is in the trial, there are no new enemies. I was convinced that there would be the ranged enemy finally appearing, and, you know, other enemies finally appearing. They're not in the game yet. So it's just the same old, some small guys, big guys, Night Hunter, whatever the fuck. However, I'm pleasantly surprised that Toy Factory still managed to hold its own. Like, it is unironically the most difficult trial because of the conveyor belt mechanic, where you actually have to wait and catch packages at the correct time, and if enemies are on your ass, it can really mess you up, and other stuff like that. And that the entire trial environment is pretty much in brightness. There are barely any dark spots. It is actually nuts, and you know, makes it ultra difficult, especially again on the program ultra difficulty. I'm, you know, my head is hurting trying to figure out some strats and how to beat this on a speedrun. It will definitely be a thing, probably a week long project, just trying to figure something out and get a decent run going there, because it is really difficult, unironically, to get somewhere there, in my opinion. But yeah, I'm pleasantly surprised how they managed to make Toy Factory really cool and interesting. The theme of it is pretty messed up. It's probably the most messed up shit Red Barrels has ever done. Like, it tops all the shit they tried to do with Whistleblower and Outlast 2 Jessica and what the fuck. Like, holy shit, they went all out with this one. Like, wow. Like, when I streamed that, which, by the way, we did a 10-hour stream, and thank you everyone to stop by for that, by the way. I'm just saying that on the sidelines. The stream was absolutely insane. I'm sorry. Hashtag ad, hashtag that dirty self promo. But yeah, when I played it for the first time, I was literally startled, and chat was as well. Like, Red Barrels really went all out thematically with that one. It was actually nuts. But yeah, I'm pleasantly surprised how it turned out. A bit generic, and I think some of the objectives will be like, over time. But it has cool stuff in it. For example, that I think it was in this MK challenge, and Crush the Sex Toys, where you have to power up a generator to create UV light like you do in the Vindicate the Guilty puzzle rooms, so you can figure out which box is the correct one. Stuff like that is really cool. Or right here, it's basically mini Kill the Snitch pushing like a mining cart full of sex doll parts into a furnace. Really cool, in my opinion. But yeah, I will say though, I think this is where the limit is though. If we get Program 6, we need new enemies. I think, as pleasantly surprised and as much as they managed to hold this up right here, I think Program 6 needs new enemies. Like, we are getting to a point where I already thought that with Vindicate the Guilty, where you can have 3 Night Hunter segments, that we're getting to a point where the enemies and the mechanics are running out and you need to reinvent the wheel a little bit. So I hope this will come with Program 6, which will probably be Mobster Hideout, but we don't know for sure yet. Either way, I think that's all about trials and stuff, so let's talk a little bit about balance and loadout, and I think that's about it, right? By the way, did I get the thing? Yeah, I got 99 of the take no damage in a trial 10 times. That's awesome. Now, prescriptions have not really changed. Now, there is a weird change, I will say, that is a bit bad in my opinion. Stamina recovers like with a 2-second delay only, but you have a shitload more stamina. And for some reason, exhaustion recovers pretty much instantly if you have the prescription now, like the deep breath. So stamina is even more plentiful than it already was. So it turns even more away from the whole stealth thing, and it's just running through, which I'm not really a fan of. I just hope that if they keep on this path, that they will implement, you know, options to disable prescriptions, which, you know, we've been asking for forever, but we will see about that. Rigs. Originally, I was pretty excited about the rig changes, but the more I think about it, the more I'm like, oh, basically, the gist of it is every rig got buffed. Starting with the blind, for example, they reverted the deploy time back to 4 seconds from 5. And They also the fog duration and so on and so forth, fine. They reverted a little bit of the heavy nerf, but it's not back to ultra old busted. But blind players will be happy, fine. Heal, you can also use it now in a hiding spot, which I think, I haven't tested yet, but it will be funny using that like in a hiding spot and someone passes by and you just spray them with gas. That sounds really hilarious. X-ray, you can now see your teammates in X-ray, and you can also use it in a hiding spot, but X-ray cooldown has been increased for some reason. And then, which I forgot to mention, stun. For a reason, stun has been ultra buffed, and the more that I think about it, the more I hate it. Basically, they went ahead and reduced the cooldown from 3 minutes to 2 minutes, and they also they decreased the cooldown if you have the upgrade. Where is it? Like the restore upgrade. Cooldown time is instantly reduced if no enemies hit. They put that up from 50 to 75%. So this means that if you use your stun as a distraction tool to gain your stamina from and your battery from electric boost, or to disarm traps, like one of these cases, which are all really strong by themselves, the stun has a 30-second cooldown. And this is too fucking much. This is too fucking much. They could have literally left that like at 50% instead of reducing it all the way down to 75. The cooldown has already been decreased. Like, it would have already been buffed. Like previously, stun had a 180-second cooldown, and if you had the restore, you had a 90-second cooldown. And if they only reduced the cooldown, then it would have a 60-second cooldown, which is more than fine. But for some reason, they went ahead and reduced it by even more, like the 75%. And now, basically, if you want to have a stamina thing in a bottle to get stamina back instantly and battery life, you have that on a 30-second cooldown. If you just want to get rid of traps for free, you can do that on a 30-second cooldown. Obviously, mind you, not hitting. If you hit an enemy, then obviously you get the long cooldown. But if you don't hit enemies, like, you basically have a bottle, which is arguably one of the strongest items in the game, on a 30-second cooldown. And this is fucking nuts. And the problem is not necessarily that I think it's too strong and oh my god, to nerf. Like, it is too strong, in my opinion. But that's not where I think the main issue is. To me personally, the main issue is that especially these two have been gone into the dust. I don't know why X-Ray needed to get nerfed this update. Like, yeah, cool, you see the teammates and you can use it in hiding spots. But why did the cooldown get increased from 30 seconds to 45 seconds? Heal got basically no love. Like, it is cool that you can now use it in a hiding spot, but I would have loved if they go all out with, you know, buffing these two beasts again, that they will revert some of the gas thing that, you know, that weird nerf they did in Winter Kills. Like, why have they not done that? Like, I don't understand why especially stun gets so much love while these other children basically are getting neglected. And I'm not a really big fan of that, I will say that much. Now, before we wrap up this video, amps, you basically have 3 categories now: tools, skills, and medicine. They also added a bunch of new amps like backpack to have 1 more inventory slot. You can break down planks with a single strike. You can self-revive, which is really funny. And yeah, overall, the new amps are all pretty cool and fun. Some of them are pretty mediocre, like the one door trap breaker, because door traps have not really changed at all, pretty much. But yeah, all of them are pretty nice. I don't think any of them is necessarily broken or too strong. Like, even something like the self-revive, last chance, is way better than that, in my opinion anyways. So yeah, and yeah, basically you can only select one of each tier now. So you cannot run slippers and noise reduction together, for example. You cannot do that anymore. Which in my opinion is a good change, that you have to think more about builds now. The problem is that with time, for example, if I look at this category, like slippers is fine, cacophony is fine, noise reduction is fine. This is trash, this is trash, this is trash, and this is maybe fine, you know? The more you look in some of these categories, you will be like hide and breathe. Let's talk about hide and breathe real quick while we're at it. Got an insane buff, and you basically now get adrenaline from, you know, a hiding spot, obviously on a cooldown. Really nice change, like on a side note. But so yeah, hide and breathe is really good now. Hide and heal, maybe for speedrun, decently strong. You know, you see that? Like, the main goal I want him to have now is trying to get every amp somewhat usable, because some of them are just not really that good, and then it has the potential to limit builds even more. I'm still happy though that they went to do the category thing. I know a lot of people will not be happy about that, but I appreciate it that they at least try to get some more depth into the whole, you know, loadout system a little bit at least. But yeah. And I think that covers about it at all. Also, I forgot to mention, by the way, stun rig. Coil is not immune to it anymore. If you wanted to have a reason why stun is even more powerful now, I'm just throwing that out there. And like, the amount of buffs stun got with the update is just fucking Toledo tits nuts. But yeah. I think I'm gonna leave it as that. There's obviously a lot of fixes they did, some map changes and so on and so forth. And I would say Genesis is very fucking easy now. Almost boring easy to get through. And yeah. So that's whatever. But overall, I think the update is fine. Obviously, this is more or less first impression. Like, again, it's only like 24 hours since the update dropped. So, and I mean a little bit later when this video hits live. But overall, I think it's pretty decent. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to drop a like and subscribe for more Outlast Trials content in the future. And yeah, other than that, let me know what you guys think about the update. What you like, what do you dislike? I kind of want to start a little bit of a discussion if possible. But yeah, other than that, have a great rest of your day and take care everyone. Bye bye.